These are my top resources and tools to be able to create amazing YouTube thumbnails for your YouTube videos. So in a world where graphic design really hasn't changed all that much in the last 10 years or so, there's not been a whole lot of evolution to it. There's not been a whole lot of crazy tools and functions that have come out. There are a handful of small things that have come up in the last couple of years that I've been able to utilize when it comes to designing YouTube thumbnails. And I have a full-time graphic designer on my team as well, and she's been able to utilize some of these tools and resources to be able to design more efficiently and more creatively some fantastic thumbnails for YouTube videos. So obviously people have typically their own tools. I've done a video about this, about video editing as well. And when it comes to video editing, when it comes to graphic design, most people that are in graphic design or in video editing have their own processes, have their own tools, their own softwares that they use to be able to design thumbnails. For example, my graphic designer uses Illustrator and Photoshop from Adobe to be able to create her thumbnails. I know some people that swear by Canva. I know some people that swear by other types of tools that are out there, even free tools to be able to design YouTube thumbnails. And the reality is it really doesn't matter what software you use as long as it allows you to do what you want to do to get the end result. That's the main thing. So while I'm delivering this video to you, just keep that in mind. I'm not just going to be talking about Photoshop. I'm not just going to be talking about how to use Illustrator and that sort of thing. Whatever software works for you, use it. These are just some tools that are going to help you along the way. Okay, so I'm going to give you my hottest tip off the bat. Now, I'm not going to be going into any kind of other crazy details. I just want to give you some of the hot stuff that's going on right now, some of the things that we use the most. The first thing that we use the most, ChatGPT. Now, I talk about ChatGPT when it comes to a lot of things in the media space. Video editing, copywriting, now graphic design. There's a lot of things that you can utilize ChatGPT for, and I love it for graphic design for a few reasons. I'll throw some examples up here as you guys can see. When you are using ChatGPT, the main prompts that you're going to be giving is asking it to illustrate something for you. So I'll give you a prime example. What we would do is we'll take our YouTube videos, get them transcribed. We'll have ChatGPT help us create some show notes for that, quality check it, write timestamps for it, and that sort of thing. And then my copywriter will go through, edit it, and that sort of thing to make sure it's SEO driven and all that. So after that, we will take those show notes and the transcription, throw it into ChatGPT and say, now design us a graphic for us to be able to put on a thumbnail that illustrates what this topic's about. This is where it will spit out something. Sometimes it sucks and it doesn't look great. A lot of times I find the prompt that I give it the most is to make it more realistic and less complex, because sometimes it'll throw a bunch of random things together and it just looks like a hodgepodge of just random graphics. So you have to kind of guide it and dictate it, right? So make sure that you're using your creativity. But one example I'll give is there was a podcast episode that I just put out recently that talks about creative finance strategies. And the title of it, I believe, was Unlocking Creative Finance Strategies, or Unlocking the Secrets to Creative Finance, or whatever it was. So I thought, hey, let me ask ChatGPT to give me a graphic of a house, but the roof is open, but the roof looks like a treasure chest and with secrets being revealed. It spit out an amazing, cool graphic exactly the way I described it, and I used that on my thumbnail as the creative piece for the thumbnail. And that's the kind of stuff that you can have it do. You can get very, very creative when it comes to designing and giving illustration from ChatGPT with your thumbnail. So I would utilize it for that. Get really creative with it. It'll design it. Another tip on that is most of the time it'll spit it out in a square format. I'll typically, in my original prompt, I'll say make sure to format it in 1920 by 1080. I'm using this for a YouTube thumbnail. And so that'll help, shortcut, the way that you're using the graphic as well. But I love using it for that purpose. I'll even sometimes, if there's a specific word, like in the real estate investing space, which I operate in a lot, they use the term BRRRR a lot, which is just strategy for rentals. And, obviously BRRRR sounds like, cold BRRRR, that sort of thing. So I'll have ChatGPT design and like the BRRRR with ice glazed over it and that sort of thing. And then it'll spit that out for me. So there's a lot of different really crazy and cool things that you can do from a graphic standpoint that will help you with the graphic design. So I like to use that. That's my first and hottest tip when it comes to YouTube thumbnails. That has been evolutionary for us. And that has honestly been the biggest step in graphic design, in my opinion, over the last 10 years or so, just seeing what it can do. And once again, the power that you use it with is going to be all dictated on the prompts that you give it. How creative you can be up here and translate that to ChatGPT and say, this is what I want. that's what it's going to give you in return. The next tool that I would say is a very basic one, but it's a lot more for your assets. So we like to use Envato. Envato is a subscription website where you can download not just graphic templates, but you can also download video B-roll templates, fonts, imageries, all kinds of really, really cool stuff. Music for podcasting, music for videos, or whatever it is. It's all royalty free. And what we like to use it for is, you can obviously use it for the images themselves there. That's helpful in some cases. But I like to use it for the graphics that it'll give you. So there's a section of it that'll be called 3D. So for example, there was another thumbnail that we designed that had, I wanted to use a green check mark and a red X on the thumbnail. They had really cool looking 3D graphics that you could download, and you can reposition the angling of it. It's very, very cool. And it gave us that as a PNG file. We were able to slap it onto our thumbnail, and it was exactly the way we wanted it to look. So that's a really, really cool tool that is not super expensive. And if you are going to be utilizing it for all the other things, like I mentioned, like video templates or fonts, music, video B-roll, whatever it is, then it's going to be well worth your money. So check that out. But that's one that we use very, very often and does help quite a lot when it comes to YouTube thumbnails. After that, it really just depends on the way that you put thumbnails together. Once again, I'll go back to saying, if you use Canva, if you use Photoshop, if you use Illustrator, whatever it is to be able to design your thumbnails, these are just tools and resources that you can utilize. Now, I know it's not anything crazy. It's not anything that's out of the world, but I was hoping to help somebody that maybe is struggling with, a little creativity on the front. And you can even, once again, I'll go back to ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT, here's what my video is about, or even just put the transcription in there and say, I want you to transcribe this video and tell me what type of thumbnail I should put together for YouTube. And then it can give you some really, really good ideas that you can utilize for thumbnails. If you lack creativity, maybe you don't have a creative brain and that sort of thing, or maybe you just don't really know what to put together. It does a really good job of kind of giving you some ideas for that as well. So this video wasn't specifically about how to create great thumbnails for YouTube and get high click-through rates and that sort of thing. I wanted to mainly give you some tools and resources to be able to utilize, because I know a lot of people struggle with that. So hopefully I did help somebody today. I do think that these are the main things that we use outside of the software that we actually put the thumbnails together with. So I think this is going to be a really big game changer for a lot of people. And once again, it is something where ChatGPT has become kind of this evolutionary piece of a lot of media space that it's able to kind of execute for most people. So hopefully I helped somebody today. If it did, make sure you leave a comment below and let me know if you have any further questions about this topic specifically. Also, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I'm putting out weekly videos about content creation, about video creation, how to design better thumbnails and stuff like that, podcasting. And so you'll be able to get a lot of content coming that way. And on that note, you can also follow me on Instagram or Facebook. And I'm also putting content out there as well, daily social media videos. And you can also send me a direct message. Say hi, let me know that you're watching my videos, and I much appreciate that. Hopefully I helped somebody today. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.